these payment issues with WAPCO, government promised to put up that roadmap in October for those payments to be made. It's just that we have not been serious to actually put that roadmap together. What we have to pay WAPCO has to come from ECG. And GMPC can only pay when they have received money to be able to pay them. All right. So if the cash waterfall mechanism is not giving GMPC the money for them to be able to pay to WAPCO, it's not going to happen. I've seen letters and communications and exchanges from GMPC and WAPCO, which suggested that in December, WAPCO gave us the warning that if we do not pay by 8th of January this year, they're going to suspend transmission of gas. And GMPC responded to that, indicating that they work with ECG to be able to raise the money to be able to pay them. That hasn't happened. All right. So essentially what it means is that we are not raising enough money to be able to pay WAPCO. And it's not only outstanding balances, it is also recurring accumulation, because every month we're supposed to pay WAPCO about $7 million. All right. So if you go once in a while and put in $2 million or $1.5 million, it's not going to cut it. You need to have a proper arrangement that allows payments to be made to them. And that's what we have failed to do, for which reason the curtailment actually happened. And today, the balance has actually grown to $24 million.
But someone
we need to put that.
I mean, people will ask, we've always been around this whole finance issue. Why are we not able to get it right in terms of getting the needed resources, financial wise, to deal with the issues that we have with these, WAPCO and the other IPPs?
Because we are doing politics and not business. Power is business. All right. We need to get people to be doing the business side of things and isolate it from the politics. But in our country, the politics is always ahead of the business. And that is what is actually happening. And we've been crying about these things for the past decade, about how the energy sector ought to be managed so that power, sold can be recovered in revenues, and everybody along the value chain is paid for it. Right? But you always have politicians promising to keep light on, promising to bring power generation systems, promising to invest in transmission. When power is sold and is supposed to be recovered, and invest in the power sector, and also guarantee that those who are putting their money in the sector would actually get their money back. Government has intervened and participated in that space to the extent that people can even consume power for free. And because it is government, they don't care whether they'll pay or not. And we are not collecting enough revenue. The last time I checked, the under recoveries are above 70% now. So what it means is that when power has been generated and sold, 70% of the money cannot be gotten back. So government has to raise money from the budget to be able to offset that difference. And it's escalating by the day.
But that's disturbing. How do we correct that? We cannot go on, under collecting 70% of the power we produce. That's just too much. How do we deal with it?
We have to go back to the roadmap that we set up in 2014, which we all agreed that we need to, allow ECG to be controlled by the private sector so that government can regulate it. Because government is a regulator through PURC. So if you have the private sector participating in that space, then government is able to regulate it. Today, PURC cannot do anything to ECG for whatever happens. All right. So the mess continues, the under recovery continues, the debt accumulation continues, and we are always in that same situation, and nothing is being done. We need to fix that and make sure that we treat the power sector as business, so that they can be properly regulated by the government and ensure that the public funds are not, utilized to pay people's electricity bill.
So something like a return to PDS of a kind?
Not a return to PDS, a return to private sector, properly structured private sector participation that is transparently awarded, not like the PDS arrangement. But we need to have a much more robust and transparent arrangement that welcomes genuine capital to actually invest in the power sector.
Okay.